latest country to make it over to Qatar 2022. They secured their deal last time around, but of course, who's going to join them? We'll take a little look. Nay. Folks, giving another prediction video today. We're looking forward to match day number 8 over in the World Cup qualifying phase over in Asia. That's right, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been? Smash the old subscribe button to keep hanging up to the all things World Cup qualifying related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football itself related. We're going to all here, boys. And Ruski, that's right, Iran, of course, are over there. They're going to join Qatar, of course, who already sealed the deal as hosts. But of course, who will join them? Of course, it's very, very tight in the old rankings. And of course, one of the big nations are going to have to do it the hard way. That's right. And we'll have a look at all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They're the Patreons, boys. Thank you for your love and, of course, behind the scenes. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you want to help out the channel from as little as a cup of instant coffee all the way up to us, whatever you like, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Rosie. So anyway, here we go. Recap the results that took place last time around. Then, of course, here they are. Australia did beat Vietnam, 4-0 win for them to, of course, edge closer to qualification, but of course, still not over the line yet. Japan keep up the heat as well with a 2-0 win over China, with 3-1 win was my pick. Lebanon did lose to South Korea, and I got the one bang on the nose, guys. 1-0 win in the end. Iran did beat Iraq 1-0. It was 2-0 win was my pick. UAE did beat Syria. Oh my gosh, I'm on the verge of a 6-piece here. I'm on my verge of a 6-piece here. Can I do it? Can I bloody do it? So UAE did beat Syria, and of course Saudi Arabia did. Look at that 6-piece. That's why they call me the prediction king, boys. That's why they call me the prediction king. I got 6 out of bloody 6. Who's joined me? Who's joined me? Who's joining me? Let's take a little look there. Who else got 6 out of 6? Oh, a couple of years. Follow the wisdom. That was me. So well done, Ivan Hussein. Well done, Hans West, and well done, Shane O'Donnell, for getting a 6 out of 6. 100%. It ain't easy. It is not easy. If it is, we'll be doing it every week. So this is, of course, the grand scheme of things for the Master Leaderboard. Sheffield kicks ass right now. 32 points on the board, pal. Well done to you. See you, by the way. Well done. Of course, Ivan Hussein, those within touching distance, as is Winky. Of course, we've got another 6-piece coming at you, though, right here, right now. Have I got the table? Well, surely I've got the table anyway. This is the link. Get involved, free to enter. There's the table. As you can see, though, Iran are there, basically, because they cannot be caught. They could still finish as runners-up, of course, which might determine seedings and rankings and all that kind of stuff for the World Cup draw itself. However, UAE cannot catch them. And basically, I think South Korea are on the cusps. I think they're on the cusp of it. They need a couple of points over the last 3 games or something, but they should be joining them, don't you think? I don't know. I think maybe the 3rd place team in that group will take on the 3rd place team in the other group. I think that's how it works. Or am I looking at something else? Because I was trying to figure out Chile's way into the final. Maybe they play. Maybe they. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how they qualify. Shall I Google it? Let's Google it here. Sorry, I wanna be specific for you here. How this all works. So advance to 4th round. 4th round. Basically, yes. So the third in Group A and third in Group B will play against each other. Bloody hell! Where's the draw? When the draw takes place in like March. Weird. I don't know how that figures out. Oh my days. So the 4th round, the 2 third-place teams from the 3rd round will compete in a single-match playoff in May or June. The winner will advance to intercontinental playoffs. So basically, you just... Holy schmoxies. Oh my gosh. It's such a journey for whoever does finish in 3rd. They have to play against each other to basically represent Asia. And then, of course, they go through this bullshit of taking on the what are we looking at here? The CONCACAF 3rd place, 3rd round 4th placer. The OFC, the New Zealanders, basically, and of course Chile, I hope, or in that 5th spot in there. And then I guess it's not too bad. 2 of those winners will go through as well. But the thing is the World Cup. When's the draw for the World Cup? When is the draw for the World Cup? I'm a little bit confused. So basically, the draw will take place before even we know the full extent of all the teams. I think that's a bit stupid, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's plough on forward. Of course, taking a look at the next round of matches is, of course, match day. What is it? Number? I'm looking at the wrong thing. Was it 8? Something like that. It is. All right then, folks, let's kick it off forward to the next round of matches, which of course is match day number 8 over in Asia. Of course, looking forward to this one. Kicking it all off with Lebanon, taking on Iraq. That's right, over in Lebanon. Let's get into the thick of things on this one then. These two sides have played each other 3 times in 2013. Just 1 win for Iraq, nothing for Lebanon, and 2 draws. Just 1 win though. The past 6 games for Lebanon, headed into 17% form up against the Iraq side. Also, just in fact, without a win in the last 11 games. Good discretion, be 25% form for them right now. Of course, it'll take place at the Syria International Stadium. That's of course on the 2nd of actually the 1st of Feb, of course. Meanwhile, the last time they played each other was a 0-0 draw in Iraq. That was, of course, back in October in the World Cup qualifying phase as well. They also played each other in Lebanon last time around in October 2013. It ended up all square. Of course, Lebanon coming into this on the back of a 1-0 loss against Korea. And, of course, Iraq did lose to Iran last time around. Haven't scored in 3 games, of course. In fact, just 1 goal in the last 5 for them. A bit of a damp squib for them at the moment. Of course, look at the bookies odds for this one. We have 6-4 is your Lebanon. Of course, 50-8 is your Iraq. And 90-10 is your draw. It is a very fine margins on this one, but I'm going to go with the 2-0 win for Lebanon to take a win at home in the end. Of course, they already qualified. Iran will take on UAE to keep things moving in the right direction at the Azadi Stadium. Now these two sides have played each other 7 times. 2008, 5 wins for Iran, and we got 0 wins for UAE and 2 draws. Of course, Iran coming into this on the back of what are we looking at here? Unbeaten in the last 6 games. Of course, 92% form for them right now. Up against that UAE side, who've lost twice in the past 6, 67% form for them as well. Of course, Iran's biggest win over UAE was a 3-0 win. In fact, they scored 8 goals compared to UAE's 1, which works out around about 1.14 goals a game ratio over the course of those 7 games compared to 0.14 by UAE. Of course, coming out last time around in Iran was a 1-0 win for Iran. That was back in, of course, January 2015. That was in the Asian Cup Group C. However, they also played each other in UAE in the reverse fixture for this one, and that was back in, of course, October. It was a 1-0 win for Iran in United Arab Emirates. Of course, Iran coming into this on the back of a win over Iraq, and coming into this on the back of back-to-back clean sheets as well. UAE did beat Syria last time around, of course, looking to get back to winning ways. Or continue their winning ways, should I say. Look at the odds for this one then, shall we? We have Iran, 13-8 on for the victory, 5-2 is your draw, and 92 is your away win. Of course, Iran at home, it should be a no-brainer here, 2 to win for Iran to take it to the house. Kick it off forward to be Vietnam, taking on China, that's right, over at the, where is it played? The Mai Ding National Stadium. Sounds a bit cheeky. Of course, played each other 4 times, 2009, 4 wins for China, nothing for Vietnam, and 0 draws. Of course, China coming to just 1 win to 6 for them, 33% form, up against the Vietnam side who've just won 1 to 5 for their 50% form, though, as well. China's biggest win over Vietnam was a 6-1 win. They've scored 14 goals compared to Vietnam's 4 over the course of those 4 matches, which works out around about 3.50 goals against ratio. Coming at you though, last round over in Vietnam was a 2-1 win for China, way back in, of course, January 2010. That was in the AFC Asian Cup qualification round. They did play each other back in China, back in, of course, October. It was a 3-2 win for China. China did lose to Australia last round, and haven't, scrap that. Vietnam did lose to Australia last round. Of course, it was a 4-0 loss. They haven't scored in 3 games, so a bit of a worrying time for Vietnam right now. Meanwhile, China did lose to Japan last round, 2-0 loss over in Japan as well. Look at the odds for this one. Vietnam 23-10 for the victory, 21-10 is your China, 11-5 is your draw. So Vietnam are your favourites, but only just here, of course. But I don't think they're back. They're not used to winning right now. So I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw here. Point split right down the middle, and of course it's not going to really benefit any of them heading into this one. Kicking off for to be Japan. They're going to be taking on Saudi Arabia. Of course, so this is a bit of a crunch game. This one played each other at the Satima Stadium, of course, 2002 over in Japan. Played each other 8 times, 2006, 4 wins apiece and 0 draws. Japan coming to this 83% form, winning 5 of the past 6. Against the Saudi Arabia side, just 1 win in the past 4 for them, 50% form. They had a bit of a rough patch, perhaps. Of course, Japan's biggest win over Saudi Arabia was a 5-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 1-0 win. In fact, Japan scored 13 goals compared to Saudi Arabia's 8, which works out around about 1.63 goals a game ratio compared to the 1 goal a game ratio for Saudi Arabia. Last time I played in Japan was a 1-0 win for Japan. That was in the Asian Cup knockout stage, or was it? In fact, last time I played in Japan, I believe, is a 2-1 win for Japan back in November 2016 in the World Cup qualifying phase, round 3, Group B. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture for this game in Saudi Arabia was a 1-0 win for Saudi Arabia. That was, of course, back in October 2021. Japan did beat China last round and go into this 3 games without scoring, 3 games without conceding a goal. In fact, they've only conceded 1 goal the last 6. Scrap that. That's a bad stat. That's a bad stat. Bad stat. They haven't conceded a goal in the last 3. they did concede a couple along the way. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia coming to this on the back of a 1-0 win over Oman. And of course, the odds for this one quite tight in the bookies odds, but it's in Japan, 50-8 on. They are your favourites. 11-2 is your away win. That's Saudi Arabia, and 14-5 is your draw. Of course, Saudi Arabia, of course, seem to always be in the World Cup or there or thereabouts, but Japan, of course, have a different beast these days. I'm going to go with 2-1 for Japan at home to take you to the house. Oman will take on Australia. Of course, big tricky away game for Australia here to keep up the heat in their race for top 2. You would think. Of course, played each other 10 times 2007. 1 for Oman, 6 wins for Australia, and 3 draws at the Sultan Quabos Sports Complex. Of course, it will take place on the 1st of Feb. Of course, Oman have won 1 of the last 10. Of course, Australia have won 6. Oman coming to one win in the last 6 games as well. 25% form. I think Australia's side just lost once in the past 6 games. 67% form as well. Coming at you though, last time around over in Oman, it was a 5-0 win for Australia. It was a friendly. It was back in December 2018. Meanwhile, Australia did beat Oman in the reverse fixture in Australia back in October 2021. Australia did beat Vietnam 4-0 last time around. Of course, Oman did lose to Saudi Arabia last time around. Look at the odds for this one then, shall we? What do we got here? We've got Oman 11-2 for the victory, 7-4 on is your Australia, 5-2 is your win. This would be a massive win for Australia. 2-0 win for them, for me in my eyes, and of course put them in the driving seat for the top 2 spots as we hedge towards the end of it. And of course, wrapping up, we have Syria up against South Korea over in Syria. Of course, now these two sides have played each other 7 times, 2006, 4 wins for Korea, nothing for Syria, and 0 draws. Of course, here we are the Rashid Stadium over in Syria, with just 1 win and 6 though for Syria right now, 25% form up against the South Korea side, who haven't lost in the last 12 games, picking up 5 wins on the spin, 92% form as well. Of course, South Korea did the biggest win over Syria, was a 2-1 win. They've scored 8 goals to their 4 over the course of those 7 games, which works out around 1.14 goals a game ratio. They did play each other last time around in South Korea, back in October 2021. It was a 2-1 win for South Korea. And last time they played each other in Syria, it was a 0-0 draw way back in September 2016. Syria did lose to UAE last time around. Of course, South Korea picked up a 1 win over Lebanon and go back-to-back games without conceding a goal. Looking at the odds for this one then, we have Syria coming out to 92 for the victory, 13-8 on Asia. Of course, South Korea, and 5-2 is your draw. South Korea will win this one, 2-0 win, and again, keep up the heat for the top. Well, actually, they probably secure qualification with that result to join Iran into Qatar 2022. That's, of course, the state of play there. Be sure to get your predictions in. It's a good bit of fun, of course. I'll look forward to seeing you win. Of course, match day number 9 comes around. But until then, guys, that is all I've got for you. If you think you are an Asian football expert, would like to get involved with the channel behind the scenes, of course, maybe behind the camera or in front of the camera or a part of the process, I'm looking for, of course, as we get closer to Qatar 2022, a representative from all the countries to be fans watching the games. Of course, not necessarily in Qatar, but of course maybe watching from home if you are one of the countries. Of course, Iran, of course, I'm looking at Australia, perhaps South Korea, Japan, whoever else is in the mix of things, Saudi Arabia as well. Any of those guys, if you are watching this and you think, yeah, I wouldn't mind being a part of that, get involved, let me know down below. Look forward to seeing you. But until then, dudes, I'll see you soon for the next one. Of course, until then, boys, we're done right here.